Now at 9, reports of missiles fired by North Korea over Japan. We have the latest.
And a recap of this past weekend's Ironman, how training for this year's triathlon prepared some racers.
A look at a library in Muncie that has no books but tells a variety of stories.
Plus, the ending of some COVID-19 travel procedures. Find out which in moments.
And warmer weather is expected to continue through the rest of this week before winter cool down arrives. More in my full weather forecast.
Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening and thanks for being with us. I'm Anna Chalker.
And I'm Tegan O'Mara.
Happening now, according to regional officials, North Korea fired at least one ballistic missile on an apparent trajectory over Japan Tuesday morning local time. South Korea Joint Chiefs of Staff confirmed the launch. According to a tweet posted by Japan's Prime Minister office, the projectile was, quote, believed to have launched over the northern Japanese island Hokkaido, marking a potential escalation for North Korean missile launches.
The tweet urged people to take shelter inside a building or underground. The last time North Korea fired a ballistic missile over territorial Japan was on September 15, 2017. Now over to local news. This weekend, hundreds of athletes visiting Muncie to take part in the Ironman triathlon.
NewsLink Indiana's Alex Almanza is with us in studio to tell us more. Alex.
Well, Muncie Ironman is certainly no jog, swim, or bike ride around the block. In fact, training for a 70-mile event like this takes months of training and endurance. From the chilly Prairie Creek Reservoir water to the rolling hills, the annual Muncie Ironman Triathlon is back in full swing. This 70.3-mile event is the equivalent distance of Muncie to Fort Wayne. Originally called the Muncie Endurathon, the annual event has been a staple, bringing in hundreds of athletes from around the country. You would think everyone brave enough to bear the early morning breeze is competing in the race, but a good amount of people showing up are actually spectators, even volunteers cheering on their favorite racers.
I'm volunteering for the medical tent, but I'm actually really here to support my cousin, which is his brother, Ahmad Yassin Kassab. He's our boy. He's been training for 8 months for this. We just want to see him cross the finish line in good spirits, and that's really our dream come true.
Some of those spectators being coaches, which by good timing and sharp eyes, this coach catching her trainee just when we had those cameras rolling for an interview.
No. All right, so.
Oh,
it is. Hold on. Hold on.
I'll let you guys.
Yeah, hold on. Let's go! Come on!
I want to make a sandwich.
No sandwich making. Go. Steffi, the one that you just saw, it's her first 70.3. I've been coaching her for about 5 months for this, and everybody's doing great. It's a great day.
While athletes blaze past the finish line, this weekend's race surely sparked some interest for those spectators to join next year.
Maybe someday. You never know. You never know where the tides turn. I saw the water was really cold this morning. I don't know if my body's meant for that, but maybe in the future.
Maybe in the future. Never know. Just give me weights, man. I don't do the cardio thing.
Well, preparations for next year's event are already underway, with registration now open. Of course, not too late to start training, as I'm sure many of next year's athletes are already doing.
Yeah, they're probably already doing their next event and get ready for the next time. It's definitely going to be a crazy one for them to get ready, and just even though they got off of that, they're like, time for the next one.
Yeah.
Props to them. I definitely run out of breath after climbing up one flight of stairs.
I feel it.
Exactly. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, Alex, thank you so much.
Of course.
And talent in Muncie over the weekend, Kim Hobson explains why she wanted her church to be the stage for these participants.
Brainstorming on fundraiser ideas, and I thought a talent show would be a good idea. We thought that was a good way to showcase all the kids that we have, like show all of their talents and their interests, while also bringing some money in for the youth group.
Kids aged from 12 to 20 all participated in the fun. The show had many kinds of acts, including singing, cooking, karate, and even a Rubik's Cube race. Rising Hope Church has several other fundraising activities planned for the future. Their next big event, a trunk or treat event that will be held in later October.
The Human Library took place yesterday afternoon. NewsLink Indiana's Vincent Martirano joins us in studio. And Vincent, how is this library different from others?
Yeah, guys, the Human Library isn't your traditional library with hardcovers or paperback copies. The books are people who have unique life experiences and interesting stories to tell. library at Minnetrista's Oakhurst Gardens is a safe place for positive conversations about stereotypes and prejudice.
Our books are authentic. I mean, it's people. I've had people ask me, "Are they paid to be a book?" No, because once you start doing that, you're selling a story, and it's not the same. These are just authentic stories.
People who attend the library are known as readers. When a reader checks out a book, they're met by somebody who works at the library, known as a librarian, who will walk them to the location of the book. There, they get 30 minutes to spend talking about the book's story and experience, and they're encouraged to ask questions.
You know, when we're raised not to ask those personal questions. You see someone in a wheelchair in a store, and your mother says, shh, shh, shh. If the kid says, hey, Mommy, why is that person looking like that? Shh, shh, shh. And here we're saying, no, ask those questions.
Each book volunteers their time to tell their story. Pam Taylor has been a book for a year now after her son died by suicide.
It's the way I cope, is to talk about suicide, reduce the stigma, and it's very important to me. So
the goal is for readers to leave the library with a more open mind and a better understanding of stereotypes and prejudices.
It just opens up your own perspective to say, boy, yeah, I never thought about that. We're all in a better place if we can start doing that.
After the reader is finished with their book, they return it to the shelf and pick up another book. Human Library in Muncie will be at the Muncie Public Library on November 9th from 4 to 5:30.
And Vinny, thank you so much. And that's a great way for people just to learn stories, especially through strangers. It might be someone they've never met before. It's just an interesting way to hear new things.
Yeah, I definitely will want to check that out. It also looks like it was very nice outside for them to be talking about books, and I'm hoping it stays that way. So now over to Eric. What can you tell us about the weather?
Well, right now it's looking quite nice out right now. Temperatures are nice, but not for long, because by later tonight, temperatures are going to take a chilly turn. Temperatures could dropping to probably near freezing. And coming up later on, we were talking about more warmer temperatures to be followed by much cooler weather by the end of this week, and maybe a couple possible freezes as well within that time frame. All that coming up in my full weather forecast.
Thank you, Eric. And attorneys for Indiana abortion rights supporters say there is no rush to suspend a judge's decision temporarily letting abortions continue in the state. It is the latest legal step in the fight over the state's recent abortion ban. In court documents today, lawyers for the ACLU of Indiana call the state's motion, quote, hastily filed, and argued the case does not need to go to the state Supreme Court. The ACLU says lawyers for the state, quote, have not established that an emergency exists, end quote, to justify taking the case to the Supreme Court. Attorney General Todd Rokita did not immediately respond requests for comment.
Today marks the new term for the U.S. Supreme Court, featuring the first African-American woman on the bench. Topping the docket is an affirmative action case involving minority administration programs at Harvard and the University of North Carolina. Before her death, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg said she thought the issue had been permanently settled. Court observers wonder whether more than 40 years of affirmative action precedents could be at risk. During this new term, the Supreme Court is also expected to take up major disputes on voting rights, free speech, and gay rights.
The CDC is ending another COVID-19 procedure. The CDC says it will no longer maintain a country-by-country list of travel advisories related to COVID. Starting today, the health agency will only post a notice for a country. If health officials are concerned about a particular variant, or if there is another situation that would change the CDC's travel recommendations. This ends the COVID-specific travel notices it began back in January of 2020. The agency notes fewer countries are actually testing or reporting COVID cases, which limits their ability to accurately assess those international destinations. The CDC still advises anyone traveling out of the country to stay up to date on COVID-19 vaccines and follow its guidance for international travel.
Norwegian Cruise Line is further easing up its pandemic rules. Beginning tomorrow, it's dropping all vaccination testing and mask requirements. Passengers won't have to show proof of COVID vaccination or show a negative test aboard. The changes, however, are subject to local requirements at cruise destinations. Norwegian started welcoming unvaccinated guests a month ago, but they had to test negative for COVID before embarking. With the changes, Norwegian becomes the first major cruise line to end testing for unvaccinated passengers. And coming up, an investigation on the National Women's Soccer League has found abuse in the system. What the league is saying.
Plus, Google plans to stop services in one country. Find out why after the break.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, MITS will take you there.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. Officials released the results of an independent investigation today on abuse and misconduct in the National Women's Soccer League.
Investigators say they did over 200 interviews and discovered the league had a culture with verbal and emotional abuse as well as sexual misconduct. They say the problem spans multiple teams, coaches, and there were multiple victims. Both U.S. Soccer and the NWSL reacted to the report in separate statements. The NWSL said it would immediately review the report, and the U.S. Soccer president called the findings, quote, heartbreaking and truly deeply troubling, and promised immediate action to create change in the system. Amazon announced a new shopping portal called Amazon Access, focused on shoppers who get governmental assistance. Snap EBT is featured on the storefront, and it also includes information about the company's layaway program that allows customers to pay for their products over a set period of time. Amazon officials say they want to make sure people who are struggling financially have better and in some cases less expensive options. More information is available on Amazon's website.
Google announced it is discontinuing its translation services in China. The company says that people aren't using it. Many other Western companies, including Amazon and Microsoft, have pulled back from Beijing in recent years. Numerous issues like internet censorship and domestic competition have resulted in Google's withdrawal. However, Chrome and other select services will stay put. According to tech analytics company StatCounter, Chrome is China's most popular desktop web browser.
An investigation found fraud and theft are running out of control on the electric payment service Zelle. Senator Elizabeth Warren's office looked into the issue. Citing data from large banks, they found fraud is increasing on Zelle and banks are not refunding most of their customers. That could be a violation of federal law since 7 of the U.S.'s largest banks own Zelle and claim it is safe. The investigation report found an estimated $440 million was lost by Zelle users through fraud and scams in the last year. In response, banking industry trade and advocacy group Bank Policy Institute disputed Warren's findings. BPI claims Zelle's rivals such as Venmo and Cash App receive more reports of disputed transactions. Now let's send it over to Eric for a quick look at weather.
Well, more weather is expected to continue before winter cold front arrives later this week. Find out how cold it will get after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
9:16 on your Monday morning, and you're taking a live look at the Cooper Science Building. Now, an update to Hurricane Ian. Economists are starting to project the cost of the devastation.
Some estimate the storm likely caused about $50 billion in damages to Florida, plus several more $1 billion of damage to South Carolina. That would make it one of the most costly natural disasters in recent history. According to Oxford Economics, it could slash third quarter economic growth in Florida and South Carolina by 3 and 2 percentage points. Even the national economy could take a hit, putting a dent in gross domestic product growth in the near term. And now will Ian's path be affecting other parts of the country? Eric, what do you have for us?
Well, luckily for us, that will not be the case. At least for here for Indiana. As right now we're seeing clear skies for much of our area right now. But looking towards the wide view, you're seeing also that beautiful weather continuing for much of the region. But our trouble area being right here northeast, where we see the remnants of Hurricane Ian impacting parts of the New England coast, and that's expected to continue for them for the next few days. Luckily for us, it will not be the case with us getting any of that rain, because thanks to this little high pressure over here, it's gonna keep us nice and dry for the next several days. And right now, temperatures are quite mild across the region right now. Right now, it's 52 degrees here in Muncie, 58 degrees here in Annapolis, and 59 degrees here in Shelbyville. So it's starting to cool off a bit, but we're expect that to be nowhere compared to how far down we're going to fall tonight, and that'll be down to a low of 35 degrees. Quite chilly tonight. 34 degrees. We'll be quite cold tonight. Clear skies, and we're expecting some patchy frost later tonight as well. With temperatures being near freezing, it's possible they can have some frost develop on the grass. And also, it's definitely a night to bundle up. Make sure you have a jacket with you, because it will be quite cold when we walk out the door tomorrow morning. And looking ahead to your day tomorrow, we're expecting the beautiful day on tap, starting out quite cold in the morning and then warming up to quickly by around noon, 61 degrees by noon, and then by the afternoon seeing temperatures up to 70 degrees. So quite a nice day to go out for a walk, or maybe go for hammock king, or even go out for a run as well. Awesome day for that tomorrow. So beautiful skies. And looking ahead, we're expecting more of those warm temperatures through Thursday. Average high this time of year is around 72 degrees, but we're expecting this a little above average. But look at Friday. Temperatures only around 54 degrees. And this will be due to a major cold front, which will be coming through the area, which will drop temperatures down to those 50s. So it won't feel like fall at all going to Friday. It definitely will feel like November. You will need a jacket again once you get to Friday. So make sure you're aware of that. And also, even further down the road, we're expecting those average temperatures here in Hot Valley as you go to like fall break. But out towards the west, if you're heading out west, we're expecting more and warmer temperatures. But if you're heading out towards the East Coast, looking quite chilly. So if you're heading out for fall break, then you might want to bundle up, because it's going to be quite chilly. And let's look towards your 7-day. We're expecting, again, that beautiful weather continue through about Thursday. Temperatures around 75 degrees. And we're expecting the major cool down to arrive by Friday, as the cold front does slide through the area and bring in those cooler normal temperatures. And then seeing maybe possible for a couple frosts by Saturday and Sunday, with temperatures dropping to the mid-30s those mornings, and then seeing temperatures warming back up to around 7 degrees for next week.
We
Thank
are on
you.
a roller coaster of weather and temperature, it is to say the least. Eric,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
And now for a quick look at sports. Dylan, what do you have for us?
Hey, thanks, guys. Plenty of Ball State sports competing over the weekend, plus several Cardinal athletes winning awards. Find out who next in sports.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously? Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10. Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Dylan Selke with sports. Ball State football competing in the battle for the Bronze Stalk Trophy this weekend, taking on Northern Illinois Huskies in a high-scoring affair. The Cardinals starting off slow in the first half, letting up 3 straight Husky touchdowns in the start of the matchup. Ball State finally able to kick it into gear in the final minutes of the first half with a 30-yard touchdown pass from quarterback John Paddock to Muncie local Brady Hunt. This sending the Cardinals into the locker room down 24-7 after a Northern Illinois field goal. Ball State flipping the switch after a halftime with an electric performance from Carson Steele with 2 touchdowns in the third quarter. John Paddock tacking on 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, sending the game into overtime, tied at 38 apiece. But it is the Cardinals completing the 3rd largest comeback in program history on a 1-yard Carson Steele touchdown in double overtime to reclaim the Bronze Stalk Trophy. Head coach Mike New expressing how proud of his team he is.
Hat is off to every football player on our team for just believing at halftime, for coming back out in the second half with a positive, can-do attitude.
Ball State will look to hit the road next week in search of another MAC win as they take on the Central Michigan Chippewas. Keeping things on the gridiron, Ball State football's Jaquan Amos and John Paddock winning MAC West Division Players of the Week today. Amos earning the defensive award for the first time in his career after amassing a season-high 12 tackles on Saturday, as well as an interception on the 3rd play of the second half, helping turn the tides against the Huskies. Paddock earning the award for the 2nd consecutive time, leading the way offensively, going for 40 for 58 for 403 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air. Both Amos and Paddock crediting the comeback performance as a team effort.
I think it shows our grit. It shows our ability to make plays when it matters most. I've preached this a bunch of times. It's a 4-quarter game. It's not a 1-quarter game. It's not a half game. It's a 4-quarter game. And if you want to show up against us, you got to play all 4 quarters.
Staying together, being tight, like the brotherhood is growing. As we win, the brotherhood is growing. And I feel like just staying together really help us win this game for real. We believe in each other, and we can do whatever we want. We believe in each other.
Amos and Paddock will look to keep up their high level of play in the final 7 regular season matchups of the season. Spanning from Tennessee to Michigan, the Cardinals competing in a plethora of sports over the weekend. First up, Ball State women's tennis dominating at the Middle Tennessee Invite. Next up, Ball State field hockey splitting their matchups this weekend by defeating Central Michigan on Friday and falling to Michigan on Sunday. Another team to face off against a Michigan school is women's volleyball by taking down Eastern Michigan on Friday and Saturday. And after a 24-kill performance, senior Natalie Reese earning a MAC West Offensive Player of the Week honors. Taking things to Kentucky, Ball State's cross country finishing 9th out of 47 teams at the Lou Classic. And finally, Ball State soccer rounding out the week with a 2-0 shutout win against a fellow MAC opponent in the Bowling Green Falcons. And hey guys, a big football win this weekend. Were you guys able to attend the game?
I wasn't able to, but keeping up with it, it was a crazy game to say the least.
It definitely was. I'm wearing my Cardinal red because the Ball State football team is making us proud, especially in that double overtime. That's insane.
And not even just with football, all the sports, it sounded like it was a great weekend for every sport. They placed well, they were able to perform well, and we were able to get the honors because of that.
A very entertaining weekend, of course, for Ball State football. A double overtime win will always be entertaining in the football world, so that was absolutely a blast to watch.
And of course, we wish them and all the other sports the best of luck as they continue their seasons, especially because we're wrapping up fall seasons. Dylan, thank you so much. And in moments, NewsLink Indiana's Janice English joins us for your campus coverage.
And we have one final check at weather.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now?
Right now. You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
This is your campus coverage. Today at the Scramble Light Ball State Dance Marathon hosted a fundraising event in honor of National Child Health Day. To raise money for Raleigh Children's Hospital, marathon members hosted a variety of games and hula hoop competition with prizes which included bracelets and stuffed animals. Visitors also got 50% off registrations for Dance Marathon if they registered today. BSUDM member Brenna Hackett shared just how important the events like today are while leading up to the marathon.
Normally host special events once a month, and it's just a good way for us to get awareness out and recruit people and join us.
In addition, students were able to buy a cop for $5. Proceeds from all activities today went towards Raleigh Children's Hospital. If you missed your chance to sign up for or participate, BSU Dance Marathon will be at the Scramble Light this Thursday from 11:30 to 1:30 p.m.
Thank you, Janice. That was an awesome event, especially since it was raising money for the Raleigh Children's Hospital. And now for a final look at weather.
Again, looking at beautiful weather continue through Thursday, followed by major cool down on Friday, beginning a cold front, and possible frost and freezes possible early Saturday and Sunday morning, with those temperatures dropping down to the 30s.
Eric, thank you. And it's going to be great to see the weather go up a little bit, but it's going to go down.
Yeah.
We're just on that roller coaster right now.
I'm going to need a layer up, it sounds like.
Yes, definitely. And that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at live, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.